spin to win a couple times this morning. We got a ton of stuff on the prize wheel. Also, we're going to give you all the details on how we're giving away a brand new car coming up this Sunday. And, of course, it's our 2024 Hispanic Festival going down Ray Street in downtown Georgetown.
Yep.
Some of the big stories that people were talking about this morning. Well, you know what? Let's just make it trending stories. Here we go.
Say what? What? That's crazy. Here's what's trending
We set the trends.
on Power
Trend.
1017.
All right, so did you watch the presidential debate last night? Of course, you had former President Donald Trump and current Vice President Kamala Harris. Here goes some of the highlights.
Okay.
It was, from ABC, but it aired on every station. So here are a couple of the highlights from last night.
Presidential candidates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump meeting on the debate stage for the first time.
Kamala Harris. Accept the debate.
See, have fun.
Thank you.
The vice president walking to the former president's podium.
She introduced herself at the beginning. That was the first thing that I was like, okay. She went over to him, Kamala Harris.
Oh my gosh.
To shake his hand in Philadelphia. The two standing just 6 feet apart. From the start, the gloves were off.
Tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling.
Trump punching back.
She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well.
The stakes could not be higher for tonight's debate. The two candidates locked in a dead heat in polls. The economy and inflation on the top of American voters' minds. Trump laying the blame on the Harris and Biden administration.
We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%.
Harris responding.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century.
Like the Trump-Biden debate, tonight there was no studio audience and the microphones were turned off.
And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had, a horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad, and she can't get away with that.
All right, here's a couple things that I've noticed so far and that I noticed during the debate last night. Number one, Donald Trump's hair.
Yes.
There's something different about his hair.
I think it's like new. What?
Yes.
It's like new hair.
It is new hair. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like
It's
a
new and it's like a different color.
it is a different color. It's not like the wild,
You're right.
you
It's
know.
like smooth. It looks healthy. It looks healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
different color. It's like new hair.
Do you think they did that to kind of like calm the mood? Do you think that's what it was?
I just think in general he's probably trying to, have a new look.
New look, new image,
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what, and the other thing was the bags under his eyes.
Oh, well, I'll look again.
Yeah,
I didn't look at that.
No,
Okay.
that was another thing that I noticed.
All right. I just noticed the hair right away.
Last night, yeah.
Harris responding.
Yo, those are
All right, so it was definitely something last night on the debate stage.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
The debate turning personal.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly, he is having a very difficult time processing that.
Trump claiming Biden was pushed off the Democratic ticket.
You talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her.
Both candidates getting heated when discussing the issue of abortion, an area of vulnerability for the GOP.
Her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote.
ABC News fact-checking the former president.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
Harris, after reminding Americans of Trump's role in selecting members of the Supreme Court who overturned Roe v. Wade, went on the attack.
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and in asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America.
According to a Pew
Now on the women stuff, she got him. She was strong on the women, on the the Roe v. Wade and the women's rights and all that.
Research Center study, a majority of Americans believe abortion should be legal in all or most cases. President Trump hammering the Biden administration on the border, an area of vulnerability for Harris.
There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here.
Harris defending her record, pointing to the bipartisan border bill that Trump killed.
That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
At one point, Trump repeating debunked claims about immigrants in Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, listen to this right here. This was wild. This was a wild moment.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Both candidates going after one another. Harris needling Trump about his rallies.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there.
ABC News anchor Lindsay Davis challenging the vice president on her changing positions.
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss at least every point that you've made.
Tonight was crucial for both candidates, but for Harris, it was her biggest stage yet as she reintroduces herself to voters, with recent polls showing nearly a third of voters say they still don't know enough about her. While tonight was her first presidential debate, she did not hold back.
When you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did, in fact, lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact.
Trump launching attacks on Harris's record.
She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Tonight was Trump's 7th presidential debate.
All right, so there you go. So that was just some of the highlights from Jess shaking her head. That was just some of the highlights from last night's debate.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I know leading up to it, I was like, what's going to happen? Is it going to be wild? You know, everything's been quiet. Oh, that was a good one.
I think this was the wildest moment.
I would
That
like
was
to
a good
respond.
one.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so, that would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border?
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving.
rallies.
But yeah. See, that was like
Why did he ever answer?
about why did he
curious.
want to kill the bill?
Yes. Did he ever?
He
come
went
back
from the
to
rallies
that?
to the
Yeah.
eating the dogs.
Got
Don't
it.
go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And
Now we're back to crowds.
It was bothering him that much that
the
she
people
said
that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there,
Ugh.
and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. what they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
So that's where we're at.
Okay.
Crowds at rallies and eating the dogs. That's where we're at.
It's interesting.
So
Okay. All right.
told you it was going to get wild.
I know.
We knew it was going to get wild. So, again, that's where we're at, guys. So there you go. That was the debate last night in a nutshell. Some other trending stories. 3 years after 9/11, the government made September National Preparedness Month. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but a new poll looked at the top things we'd grab if we had 5 minutes to evacuate. Number 1 is our phone, followed by our wallet or purse, important documents, prescription meds, and family photos.
Okay.
Today, of course, 9/11, we will never forget. And we have some tributes that we're going to be playing. Always said we would always do that on the show. Also, a poll asked 3,000 Americans, do you remember where you were on September the 11th, 2001, when you heard about the 9/11 attacks? Most older Americans do naturally. 4% don't.
It's a high number that
It's amazing.
do remember.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. Like,
We will never forget it.
yeah, we'll never forget it.
We'll never forget
It's
it.
amazing to me. Like, you know, the kids you talk to have no clue what 9/11 is. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy how long ago it's been. So, a list of the most unusual room service requests include an Evian-filled bathtub,
Really?
also a caviar hot dog, and the strangest belongings left behind include a rice cooker and a car tire. Okay, that was in Jess's room.
No, but I did clean a house. It was a college house, and they left a spare tire in the living room.
Oh, in the living room.
Yes. So I thought when we walked in and it was there in the middle of the room,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
else was like emptied out. I thought that they used that for like keg stand.
Oh, they could have.
That's what I thought.
They could have. A study found the average NFL tailgate for 4 people costs $205.17.
I believe it.
49ers fans have it the hardest with $292, including $132 for parking.
Oh,
The Arizona-
it's that expensive?
I guess so. The Arizona Cardinals offer the cheapest tailgate at $158.
Jeez. Well, because nobody's really going.
To the
See the
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah. Nobody's really going there. The health department in Queensland, Australia went viral for a post telling people to poop at work more.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they say people avoid it but shouldn't, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. They
I
said
don't poop here.
it's not good for you.
I don't poop here.
Good. Good. I can tell you who
I
does.
do not poop at work. Oh, I can tell you who does. Oh, I can tell you people who have no shame. I don't poop here, but I can tell you who does.
Yeah. I got no shame.
I can tell you what hour they go. I mean,
Yeah, everybody has a routine.
yes.
You know what I do? I'll tell you what I do. I don't care. I go out there
Oh, gosh.
when nobody's in the front,
Oh.
except for my
so
wife,
early.
maybe. Except my wife's the office manager here at The Voice. That's no.
Will you go when
Secret.
she's here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Ain't nothing to hide there.
All right. So,
But when not necessarily when nobody's here in the building, when nobody's out front.
okay. So I would say your safest is like from 6 to 9 is your best bet.
If
or,
I'm going out of the room for a certain amount of time, like during the show,
Yeah.
you know where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
Well, not necessarily, but I could be.
Oh, all right. I mean, I don't care.
Stupid.
I don't care.
Neither do I.
But I also don't think, okay, like your bathroom manners and habits are nothing like others in the building.
Who?
Ooh, it's me gag just thinking about it.
Well, you know what's real crazy is the ones that the people you wouldn't expect are the worst.
Thinking about it.
Yes.
Because it is like sewer. And garbage.
Sewer. Campbell's Soup is planning to drop the soup and call themselves the Campbell's Company.
Oh.
I guess like Dunkin' Donuts dropped the donuts. They're just Dunkin'. But now they're going to be Campbell's Company. The CEO says, we're so much more than soup. They own a bunch of other brands, including Goldfish Snacks. So.
All right, so they might drop that.
That's what my wife's grandfather always used to say. Pop, he used to say, you're full of soup. You're full of soup. A 47-year-old convenience store clerk, well, he was probably right.
He was probably right.
I am full of soup. A 47-year-old convenience store clerk in Las Vegas was arrested for allegedly beating a man with a baseball bat for taking too much nacho cheese.
Oh, no.
The victim is in pretty rough shape, and his injuries are life-threatening.
Oh, my gosh.
And studyfinds.com ranked the best countries to visit if you want to travel overseas on a budget. The top spot is Vietnam, followed by South Africa, Portugal, Argentina, Indonesia, and Costa Rica.
Okay.
So there you go. 6:43. It's the Bill and Jessica Show. Got a 47 ABC update coming.